Hello, everyone. My name is William King. I am going to talk to you today a little bit about our English 10 class, both the academic and the honors track. A little bit about myself before I begin. This is my 13th, full year here at Central Valley. And along with teaching language arts here at the high school, I am also involved with the cross country and track and field programs. Now, I am just going to be covering some of the information that we give to our students at the beginning of each semester. If anybody has any questions for me, please don't hesitate to reach out. Email is the best form of communication, wking@centralvalleysd.net. That's my email. So each and every day, we've done it here for a number of years in the district. The primary means of delivering content to the students will be through the iPad. Occasionally, we will have some assignments that require the old-fashioned paper and pencil. I do try and keep some extra materials in the room, some extra notebooks, pens, pencils. That being said, it does make it a little bit easier when students do have one of their own, when we do have those handful of assignments. So 10th grade language arts, it is similar to 9th grade language arts in that it is a survey. We are going to take a look at a number of short stories, a number of different poems, nonfiction texts, some of the specific ones we're going to take a look at. We actually just finished with the semester-long classes, The Tragedy of Julius Caesar, the Shakespeare work. The Five People You Meet in Heaven is a novel we read at the conclusion of each semester. Of Mice and Men goes along, with our third unit. And then we are currently just beginning our student self-selected novels, where students have the opportunity to bring or choose a book from home. They can utilize the high school library, both the books that we have physically here at the high school, along with some digital resources. Again, a number of different ways they're able to choose a book of their own. First bullet point here I have for the course description. The emphasis on this class is on writing and critical reading skills. As I mentioned, 9th and 10th grade, they set the foundation for our English students as they work their way through their 11th and 12th grade classes. Their 11th grade language arts is primarily American literature, while 12th grade is primarily British literature. Second bullet point here, they'll study appropriate organizational patterns and methods of support for many types of poetry and prose, and they'll read a variety of genres. I mentioned some of those previously with short stories, poems, nonfiction pieces, etc. One of the most important pieces for our 10th graders, curriculum has been redesigned. Your son or daughter probably already took the Biology and Algebra 1 Keystone exam. All 10th graders, English 10 students, will be taking the Language Arts Keystone. For our fall students, that will be in January. For our spring students, that will be in May. They'll take the literature exam at the conclusion of the course, and this will be the third time that I've said it now. The preparation for that exam will come from reading a variety of nonfiction, short stories, a survey of different texts. The course itself is broken into 5 different modules, and then there are some different texts that correspond to each of these, rhetorical devices and how they influence the audience. That's when we take a look at Julius Caesar, knowledge and experience and how they shape perspectives. That is the self-selected novels and some nonfiction. The importance of influential relationships when we take a look at Of Mice and Men. Constrained perspectives is when we have some poems along with nonfiction texts, and then mirror seeing ourselves through others. That's when we primarily take a look at short stories. The objectives for this and for really all of our language arts classes here at the high school: improved reading skills, analyze the elements of novels, poems, short stories, dramas, and nonfiction work through the discussion and the written compositions that we do here in class. Primarily for our 9th and 10th grade students, the majority of their work are going to be in writings we call constructive responses. 6 to 8 sentences. These align directly to the Keystone examination, specifically the literature portion. So again, we want them to not just do well on that exam, but as they move forward in their high school careers, when it comes to their writing. Speaking of their writing, they're going to obviously develop their writing skills with that work and expanded vocabulary, both through the text that we look at and the individual lists that we have most weeks of the semester. Student responsibilities, they are to all of our students to complete all assignments, turn them in the day that they are due. I echo this to our students. The students that do well academically are making an effort to get to school and turn in their assignments on time. That is done, then students are going to do very well in English 10. It's expected that the students will read all of the books. Movie versions of Cliff Notes are not acceptable substitutes for reading. I also echo this to the students that we're going to take a look at YouTube clips. We're going to look at different summaries and notes. I'm going to provide a range of different resources for students as they are working their way through English 10. Makeup work, very standard in terms of what is expected of really students across the district. If you have an excused absent, you have the number of days that you missed in order to get your work done. So you missed 2 days, you have 2 days to catch up on assignments. As I mentioned previously, work not to fall behind. Our students that do well academically, I'd say across all of our courses, are here on a regular basis and turning in their assignments. Grading policy, total number of points earned divided by the total number of points possible in the course. And I just briefly wanted to speak on this. Not fortunately, knock on wood, not really an issue usually in the fall or later in the year, but as we get into the winter months, if anyone is taking a look at this come December, January, February, if we do have to utilize a synchronous learning option, please make sure, just as we've done in the past, if your son or daughter is familiar with the district procedures, they will log on to Google Meet. As long as everyone is attended for, it makes the class the easiest if initially the students mute their microphones, except when they're contributing or being asked a question, obviously. And then exiting the Google Meet when the teacher dismisses the class. Again, just a friendly reminder for everyone if that situation does arise where we have to have a synchronous learning situation, most often when we have a FID/snow day. So again, I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time to listen briefly to hear what's going on in English 10 and Honors English 10. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. The best form of communication would be my school email, wking@centralvalleysd.net. Thank you, everyone.